In the summer of 2023, 80 young entrepreneurs from all over the world came together at the University of Michigan to bring their startup ideas to life. On WeTalk, we hosted some of these extraordinary individuals, as well as interns from the camp coming from renowned universities. So, stay tuned and enjoy. So, welcome back to WeTalk. This is part 2 of interviewing high school entrepreneurs who are currently in the leading entrepreneurship program in the world. So let's start off with your name, what grade you're going into, and where you're coming from.
I'm Arhana. I'm going into my senior year, should I say 12th grade, and I'm from Colorado.
I'm Nicholas. I'm going into junior year, and I'm from Pennsylvania.
I'm Anastasia. I'm going into my 11th year, but it's my senior year, and I'm from Ukraine.
I'm Alex. I'm going to my junior year, and I'm also from Colorado.
Awesome. Very diverse group here. So I want to hear a little bit about your aspirations. So talk about short-term and long-term, like what do you want to pursue?
Well, my short-term goal is just getting into college right now, preferably like an Ivy League or a really good one. And then long-term, I want to become a corporate lawyer and then a consultant at entrepreneurships and startups.
My short-term goal is to create a few more companies, and my long-term one is to take over the world.
My short-term goal is to enter the university, and I think we will discuss our universities later. And my long-term goals is to pursue my career in computer science and psychology, and of course, my dream is to travel the world.
Yeah, so my short-term goal is to troll as much as possible after raising 200K pre-seed. And then my long-term goal is to get into college and then sort of do something in tech, startups, or venture capital.
Awesome. So you alluded to this, but do you guys have a dream college?
Columbia.
I'm just looking for anywhere with a good philosophy program.
So it's Stanford and Minerva University.
Yeah, I would definitely stay the American University of Nigeria. Seems like a really good option. But if that doesn't work out, I would really want to, go to Harvard or Stanford.
Yeah, big dreams. I'm sure you guys can do it. So what do you guys think makes you qualified for those schools or for those aspirations of yours? Like, what have you done?
I guess for what makes me qualified is mostly like the extracurriculars I've been a part of. I do a lot of volunteer work, and I'm in a lot of officer positions and I'm a lot of officer positions in my school and a lot of various clubs. And then I've also run a lot of side businesses and then done things that I've shown that I'm passionate about specific things such as like dance or like volunteering. I specifically delved into those passions to show that I have something I care about. And then as long as my personal essay turns out good, I think all my stats show that I can get into Columbia.
Echo Arhana, like I've done a lot of research, I've done a lot of entrepreneurship, started companies, and like a lot of philosophy, so I feel like I've done quite a bit and should be able to get into the colleges that I dream to.
So about me, I think that I have a lot of useful knowledge and precious experience that I can share. And also how Arhana mentioned, like I have a lot of extracurricular activities such as like volunteering, especially nowadays in Ukraine. I like participate in different volunteering projects like with leader positions. And I think it's my passion for learning something new and to be a leader and to start something. And also, like, I take part in different programs as, like, in Ukraine and in US, like, online programs, so, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've just gotten really good at, like, reaching out and talking with people. Right now I'm just, like, building social media, like, based in SF. We just piloted with Stanford. I'm also, like, working on a lot of other stuff with people from all around the world. So I think just, like, being able to work with a ton of other like-minded people and also learning from, like, a bunch of diverse perspectives has been really impactful. It's something that, like, I want to take with me as I go to college.
Yeah, so definitely a very ambitious and passionate group of people who wants to make an impact on their community, whether it's in the school or out. And so I was wondering if you guys think there's anything more that you should do to have a better chance at those schools or at those dreams of yours. And specifically maybe for your major in mind.
I guess, so I want to major in data science with a minor in business. So I guess the main thing I'm missing is more technology-based stuff for that specific thing. And then through this program specifically, I've done a lot of coding that I didn't think I would be doing. So I think with that, I'll probably continue working on that and maybe showing more tech stuff in my application so that it goes towards my major and my future.
All right, so I want to double major in STS, which is Science, Technology, and Society, along with philosophy. And I've done quite a bit of philosophy, but I haven't done as much like STS, so probably do a little bit more of that, do more like projects, research, or even like start a few companies in that field.
I think my answer will sound similar, but in general, I want to deep into psychology and to learn more about that, and as well as keep going with my activities and try new and try more that I can showcase all my personal traits.
Yeah, so for me, something I think I want to focus on is like management, science, and engineering. And so I think I have the management part down pretty well. I've done a lot of stuff with a bunch of nonprofits and companies. I think the main thing is I want to focus more on learning like more technical skills that I can apply to real world applications and then sort of utilize those skills along with my background and management to be able to sort of create solutions that drive impact and value in the world.
Yeah, those are some great answers. And like it seems like technology is a hot topic nowadays, and I'm sure like this program especially has been great for that and helping us build that foundation. So you guys seem like very busy people with a lot of stuff going on, especially like in school, especially with your own startups and entrepreneurial endeavors. So I was wondering, how do you guys manage your time, and do you have any tips for that? Maybe we'll start on this end.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think one way that I like to manage school and sort of like extracurriculars, I think, is just by sort of blocking out time schedules for like when I'm supposed to do homework, when I'm supposed to be studying, and then also like when I'm supposed to be working on other stuff, right? I think it's really helpful just to like know when you can work on things that are for school and work on things that are out of school, and then when you can take a break. And so a tool I really like for this is Orderly. I'm not sure you guys have thrown it out, but it's really useful to be able to sort of plan out your day. And like I think that's something that's huge, especially since I'm a huge procrastinator, is like being able to know exactly what time you're supposed to do certain things and then sort of achieving those tasks within the allotted time, for sure.
I always write down like all goals and all tasks that I need to do, and like right now I use like Notion, but hopefully I will use Orderly. And it really helps me because like I can see everything that I need to do, and also I really try to have work-life balance in my life because it's really important, and sometimes I can forget about that, but it's something that keeps me motivated and inspired all the time.
Just to expand on that a little bit before you go next, sorry. Do you have any advice on how to achieve this work-life balance? Because it's something that people often seek for, but it's like hard to do.
So it's all about balance because it's a work-life balance. So it's all about balance, and it's something personal thing that like you need to sit down and you need to reflect on that and just write down like what you want like for work, what you want for life, and try to balance between that. And just like it can be some really small, like something that makes you happy. Like for example, during your day, you can just call your friend, or you can just, I don't know, like have a walk around your home. So like it's not something really big. So you can like create this happiness in your day just really easy.
I'm gonna say for me, obsession, like focus on one specific thing and then just go all in. Like don't let anything else exist in your mental space. Just figure out, like choose one thing to do and then just see it to fruition as fast as possible, as good as possible, and just obsess over that one thing until you're done, and then you move on and you continue and try again. And probably you should definitely use Orderly. Like I've used it myself. I am a big fan. UI is amazing. Like the AI generated parts are amazing. I would definitely buy the premium version when it comes out. But yes, definitely get Orderly.
Okay, so I don't really have a work-life balance, so maybe you should take some advice from Anastasia and Nick about his obsession, because I focus on like 1,000 things at once. But my Apple Calendar at the moment is my savior, but hopefully Orderly really comes in clutch when I start using it. So right now, so my day essentially starts from like 6 a.m. and goes all the way till like 3 a.m. So it's just, I think managing my time is something I tend to struggle with a lot. So, but I think it's good to know that you don't need to push yourself all the time, and that you can always like go back to like go on those walks, hang out with your friends, and maybe obsession will come in when you want to get something done faster. Yeah. So I think just remembering that everything isn't as important as it seems in the moment, and to really take that time for yourself.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely important to experiment and see what works for you. Some people are like Nick and can really hone in on one thing and focus on it and just obsess with it. Other people want maybe just to actually achieve that work-life balance in every single day that they have, to have those little moments of happiness. And of course, you can incorporate both of those things and have periods of like intense focus and then rest and repeat that over and over and just really figure out what works for you. And so do you guys have a specific area that you'd like to improve about yourself?
In like a work sense, I definitely want to get over like my procrastination that I tend to do, because I tend to leave things like the last minute to get that adrenaline rush to really push through to the end. And then in a more personal sense, I feel like I want to be more like honest about the things I do and in my daily life overall, because I did go through a period where I think I always told like little white lies and stuff all the time. So I just want to like really get that honesty back in my life and be like okay with who I am and the things I say to people.
For me, I think it's definitely getting a work-life balance. Like obsession does not really like lead to good personal goals and like personal health. So I definitely need to like sleep more, eat more, rest more, and such.
I think for me, it's really practice to be even more focused on what I'm doing. Like, I try to keep work-life balance, but sometimes it can be like maybe like more life or more work. So like as Nicholas mentioned, like to keep this balance, and as well like to be more and more focused like every day, like to be better version of yourself like every day.
Yeah, for sure. Something I want to focus more on is definitely like trying to avoid the feeling of being too overwhelmed and wanting to, and sort of like breaking things down into smaller things to tackle. Because like right now I'm logged into like 10 Google accounts, and like every time I like click on my profile, like there's like 4 different company emails. It's like kind of overwhelming. So really what I want to focus on is just like addressing different tasks and different things that I need to work on like as one by one, as opposed to like thinking that I have to tackle this like huge wall of different things that and work that I have to work on.
Yeah, I really like that piece of advice, breaking down this big tasks into smaller, more attainable goals, because that way you'll feel less overwhelmed and more capable to actually tackle those things. And this also reminds us that it's good to reach out to support systems, since Nick said you want to achieve more of a balance with like your well-being, and you said you want to be more focused, and so I guess you guys could work together in that way. Yeah, so do you guys want to leave off with any advice for high school students?
I guess my big advice is to just enjoy the time you have in high school, because I think I started to have a lot more fun in high school when I like gave up like on trying to be the best and trying to just be above everyone, just focusing on who I was and being okay with where I was, and just making friends and making sure I was like doing the best that I could do, but also having fun at the same time. So remember that high school isn't everything, and that there is like a rainbow at the end or something like that.
I'm going to completely disagree with Arhana here. You should seek to make yourself the best possible. You should seek self-improvement no matter the costs. High school is just, 4 years of your life? It's going to come and it's going to go, but who you are is going to stay with you forever. I also want to say that the world is very, very dangerous. You could get injured at any chance, so you should get some RE-Aid. Very useful app. I use it in my day-to-day life all the time. Also, definitely get orderly, and maybe Alea if you want to be a playa.
For my advice, I want to use my favorite quote, and it sounds like, "Nobody is you, it's your power." And I really want you to remember this quote because it's really important. Sometimes we can think that we aren't good enough for something, or we can be like really strict with ourselves. So just remind yourself that you're unique and you are capable of everything and you can do everything, and you're like you have this power because because you're unique. So nobody is you, it's your power.
Yeah, I totally want to add on to something like that Anastasia pointed out is, as I feel like as a high schooler, you have access to a lot more opportunities and things that you can work on than you might think, right? And I think this all goes back to the idea of like the snowball effect, where if you get like those 1 or 2 like positions or experiences, that can really like open a lot of doors into like new opportunities and things like that. And I think something that's really important to keep in mind is like a lot of companies and a lot of people and a lot of things will just like let you in the door, or like give you more leeway just because you're a high schooler. And so like it's not that hard, or like at least I think you should keep an open mind to the things and opportunities that you're given, because a lot of them are more attainable than you might think.
Yeah, that's right. Your power is being you, so whether you want to enjoy your 4 years more or to really just focus in and make the most out of that time, or, like branch out and be open-minded like Alex said, it's up to you, and I would encourage that you try as much as you can. So yeah, that's amazing. Thank you guys. The world is filled with endless knowledge and opportunities. So join me as I continue to explore them. Let's learn from each other and expand our perspectives. Thank you.